I mean, it's in small print. I can't read that. I don't see any of us having the eyesight of an eagle.
TJ might.
What?
And the hearing of a gopher.
A very blind eagle. Jeez, he has the eyesight of Eagle Man.
Welcome to Required Taste Podcast. We are back. It's your boy Dirty D.
It's your boy Tech Daddy.
We can't even do a sneaky entrance now. It can't be because there's the camera.
You ruined the tempo. I was gonna open with look at those low rates, and now I can't.
No,
This panel sucks.
Want to give it another try?
No.
Okay.
You were just talking about how people can't be adults and you can't introduce yourself. Yo, you fuck.
I won't.
Not one time.
You need to move that mic closer to your face.
Wild card. I do it.
Anyways, you want to do the welcome? Welcome to Required Taste Podcast. We are back. Thank you for checking us out. We are a history-based podcast. We do some history, some mystery, some music here and there. If you're first time listening to us, we appreciate you giving us a listen. We do some banter in the beginning of it, gets us warmed up, gets us in the mood, if you will, to knock out the rest of this information. Well, we want to start off with saying we appreciate you giving us a check out. We do have a merch store. It's on Etsy. We have a link tree. It has all the links in it. We're on every listening platform. We just started doing videos on YouTube, actually. So if you're looking at this is the third time we have reorganized the room again. We're going to probably do it again. We need to add some more things in the background. It's hot up here. The window's open. It's fine.
It's nice right now for me.
Well, you're right next to the window.
We're doing okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
We're doing
I mean,
okay
I
with the
brought a
fan.
fan.
Yeah, the
so
fan, the window. Yeah. We're doing okay.
The temperature's going down at least. We record at night most of the time, anyways.
Yeah, I will kill John to reclaim oxygen though if I need to.
I was about to say we're lucky. We have been gifted moving air today.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Not a sweatshop today.
That's in the basement.
Obviously. Well, I'm still moving into my house, so there's stuff kind of everywhere.
For how long?
Dude, I don't know.
Okay, fair.
Are you fully moved into your home? So, all right, so exactly.
No.
Exactly. I don't want to hear shit from you, man. You've been in your house longer than I've been in mine, so I really don't want to hear it.
Did you just laugh on the spectrum?
What does that even mean?
That sound that just came out of your mouth.
Nobody knows. That's why it's provocative.
Wild card.
Wild cards.
Roadhouse.
Do what I want.
Jeez. Anyway, so yeah, if you're new, please stick around with us. We do some banter, as I just said, as you just heard, and also give us a like and share, give us a follow. We're starting to bump up our followers on YouTube because again we do have video. Check us out there. Check us out on social media. We're going to be using that again soon too. That is loud. Anyways, so yeah, that's the checkout stuff. If you're a returning listener, thank you for keeping with us for all these years. We're in year 3. Still working out the kinks, obviously, with the video, but we're getting there. So, yeah, we appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you've had some water. Make sure you stay hydrated because it is hot. And as per usual, we get your forehead kisses. That had an echo to it.
Pow!
Okay.
You discussed me in 3 languages.
He discussed us in 4K.
Are you saying pat?
No, I said pow. I clearly said
Step Brothers. Henry Rollins when he's
Oh,
Are you saying pat?
Yeah.
Are you saying pat?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I forgot about
I haven't
that.
actually watched that movie in a long
Me
It's
either.
been a long time.
Me either. But Henry Rollins, I always remember. He's funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I enjoy him.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So, did you have a question today? We did not discuss this before we started.
We did not discuss this.
Oof.
Honestly,
Lightning round.
if I'm thinking something off the top of my head, kind of because of what we're talking about today. What's your guys' favorite swear word?
Oh man, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah, it's I guess it's kind of a hard question because it's what constitutes a swear word, like bastard.
You know,
Do I say it in front of my mother or not?
Fair enough.
That's the litmus test.
Well, I don't curse in front of my parents in general,
No.
so I'm out in that one. But I will say, like, because of the topic, I will say one of my favorite British things to say to call somebody stupid is when they call somebody a fucking muppet. That gets me every time. so that's
I'm with you on that. Actually,
that's one of my favorites.
That's nice. That hits hard. That's like calling somebody tiger, or champ. It's like fuck
Sport.
you. That's what that
Yeah,
means.
if you call anybody other than a child champ or sport, then yes, it's
Yeah.
or like if a Southern person tells you that you're blessed,
Oh, bless your
yeah,
heart.
bless your heart.
or if if they say that you're touched, that means you're a little
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of those. So it's not my favorite
It means you're gifted,
and challenged.
like myself.
Indeed. So I don't have like a favorite curse word per se, but I do. That's my favorite British slang
that,
for
though.
something. Yeah.
Muppet. Yeah, that's an even better question. Like slangs that other countries use.
Oh God, I wouldn't need to research this one.
Oh well, I got another one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, man. My bad.
Okay, so if I'm doing like different country, I'm thinking bread tosser. That's like my favorite fucking slang. It's like something they say in like the London area,
I would say pretty much anything tosser.
Yeah, tosser's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. One of my favorites that you reminded me of for slang is if you want to buy an eighth of weed in London or England, they call it a Henry. So that's one of my favorites.
I enjoy that.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's what the kids
awesome.
want.
I love that. What do you guys got?
I'm gonna have to say it's probably calling a man specifically the C word. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fact that you
Just
wouldn't
say it. Let it out, man.
Huh?
Let it rip.
I don't want to say it. My sisters are gonna listen to this.
It's a term of endearment in some countries.
This isn't one of them.
We did forget to bring that up for the Australia episode.
I don't think we did. I could have sworn we used that several
No,
times.
because we're gonna make comments about all of the former British colonies except for us using the word. They all use it kind of the same way, maybe with the exception of Canada too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, that would probably be my go-to. But specifically a dude, obviously, just because it's that little extra. What?
Yeah, and I feel
What
like
did you just call me?
It's like only works if you have the Australian accent because they got the little bit of twang. It's like the W's snuck in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Southern Hemisphere's Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like this is southern hemisphere's Florida. Honestly. Give it a second. Let it wash over you.
It might be both.
Sure. I mean, this between the things that can kill you there and then the people that live where things can kill you.
When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, you're going to see exactly how Florida can get.
So I've heard. I will let you know in 10 years when I play it.
Yeah, if it ever actually comes out.
Yeah, that too.
Jeez.
But they said May 2026.
I was more talking about the money. I'll let it come down a couple times and then I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they said it's supposed to come out at what, like $100, something like that?
Are you fucking serious?
GTA 6, yeah.
Dude,
Holy
honestly,
shit.
games are like $70-$80 already.
Yeah.
But that's
No, I
not
know.
all games, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously, when you guys came over, I was playing Claire Obscura's Expedition 33, which is a game I cannot talk about enough because it's so amazing.
Yeah.
If you have not played it. Because if you like RPGs and amazing stories, I cried like 3 times.
Yeah, the way
Anyway,
you speak of it is
but it's only $50. It's a $50
Yeah.
game. And it should be game of the year.
It just sucks because like Rockstar is just like they're such fucking geniuses that like with Grand Theft Auto they could put it at $150.
I'll probably still buy it.
People are still like I'm still gonna buy it.
Also, don't tell them that, but
Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on the PlayStation 3,
Right.
then again on the 4,
Right.
then again on the 5.
Right.
And when it came out on the 5, it was still a full-priced game.
Dude, the money they've made since they came out in 2013 is like I don't want to exaggerate. I want to say like over $2 billion.
Probably.
that they've
I
made.
just looked it up actually. GTA 5 has generated $8.5 billion.
Fuck.
So
8. Holy fuck.
and a half.
And that's good. Well, they still make money now because they have free
still do.
downloads and they do the microcurrency.
Yeah.
And fucking kids like, 14-year-old's got $60, you know, from fucking allowance. Yeah, I'm buying some on Grand.
You can play the original Max Payne on PlayStation 5. I bought it for like $8.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Are they talking about remastering that anyways?
I don't know.
I thought they are. I'm pretty sure they
that
are.
might be why it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, to get some groundswell
The
around
original,
it.
yeah, get an idea for the public's feeling on it. Maybe.
John, what's your favorite swear word? And can you say the word cunt really loud, real quick for me?
Cunt.
That's what I'm talking about.
Also, they are remaking Max Payne.
Hell yeah.
So
Hey.
I don't know if I have like a favorite one. I use quite a few of them, kind of interchangeably.
Yeah.
My favorite instance, though, is I had this mechanic, and she was just badass, knew exactly what she was doing. She could run the shop better than most of my guys. And she would swear constantly.
Well, she was a mechanic
Right.
in the military.
To be expected. She would draw the line at Jesus Christ, and she would say, Jesus Rice. And, like, I would always stop, and I'm like, that's where the line is, that you just called someone a flaming asshole and hope that their mom fucking...
Yeah. Not the Lord, though.
Yeah.
Hey, people have their scruples.
I was like, hey, to each their own.
Whatever.
That's why I always scream, God bless America.
And
By the way, I just want to add on to the Max Payne thing. They're actually remastering 1 and 2, and they're combining it into one game.
that's what I remember.
hell
They're
yeah,
doing like
that's
how
cool.
kind of Tony Hawk did it.
Yep, they're doing 1 and 2 together. And apparently Rockstar is helping them with it, so
Oh, yeah.
it's good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Also, underrated Rockstar game. I'm not sure if it's actually on anything. I own it physically, but Rockstar Table Tennis is
Really?
a phenomenal game
Wow.
and needs to be talked about more often. Just putting that out there.
We should do an episode on Rockstar one day. I actually thought about that
Oh, dude,
today.
yeah, I can add that to the list.
About doing the like of all the Grand Theft Autos, but then like why not do Rockstar in general?
Well, dude, because think about like what's weird about it is like we've been a podcast for 3 years now, and I mean I'm a massive nerd. Everybody who knows me has never known that, and we've never done a podcast about games,
No, we haven't.
which is so strange.
I think we probably
That's a deep
mentioned it.
subject, though.
Yeah.
Each one.
Well, I mean, if we would do like deep dive on Rockstar, would be actually a pretty entertaining episode.
Yeah.
Their history is pretty good.
No, absolutely. But I mean, I think you're talking a series.
Well, I mean, we do like deep dives on certain things,
Yeah.
sure. Like, I mean,
Well,
I
Grand
guess we
Theft
did
Auto
do.
would probably have to have its own thing, maybe.
Well, we
Yeah.
did Ghost of Tsushima. Well, we did the story behind the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we kind of did it. That's still our most listened to episode, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
People love their Ghost of Tsushima
we got to
sashimis.
do another fucking video game.
I was gonna
I
say,
will add it to the list.
it's funny what happens when you talk about, like, popular cultural events and things that are happening.
Yeah. So back to history.
So, the Battle of
So
Hastings.
1066.
In the year of our Lord.
Fuck. That's my favorite word. If you were wondering, it's fuck.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Always fuck.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Isn't there like a thing about monetization on YouTube where we can't curse for like a certain amount of time?
I think it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we definitely did not do that.
Fuck shit,
We
cockballs.
blew that right out the gate. Fucking, you know.
Aren't we planning on making money from this at some point?
Yeah, but you know what? I don't like putting a collar on myself. You
I mean,
know,
obviously.
like, in that manner. you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, sexually maybe, but
It's like, you know, yeah.
anyways. Moving, moving past that.
Plugging
Moving past
DJ's OnlyFans again.
We're not touching that topic. This is our daytime talk show. We are
The sun is set.
Stricken from the record. I do not have no
it's
phone calls.
I see a little bit of the sunset in that general direction. It's fine. All right, but yeah, the Battle of Hastings. So let's dive into this because it's going to be a big episode, so we might as well kind of get to it.
This is deep, man. There's so much to this.
There's a lot,
You're welcome.
and I'm going to start us off though because I want to talk about the before, essentially, what's going on before the Battle of Hastings, before all these people started killing each other.
People became other people, then they became other people. And
Like the succession of this whole thing is ridiculous. So I'm going to go before that because it's much simpler for me. So there are 3 major parties involved with this. There's the Anglo-Saxons, the Normans, and the Vikings that are the Vikings.
yeah, specifically the
But
Danish.
The Danes. The Danes. I'm sorry, the Danes. Yes. So I'm going to talk about where they're all at before this starts and what kind of goes into the story a bit. So, starting off, I'm going to go with Normandy. So, taking us back, they're involved a treaty of, what was it, 899 or 90 something. I thought I wrote that down.
9/11?
9/11. So, yeah.
Is that the year he converted?
Never forget.
9/11 is in there somewhere.
I think that's when he converted.
Okay.
So, Rollo, a Viking. So, if you've ever watched the Vikings TV series on History Channel, which was entertaining, but so freaking inaccurate. Anyways, so Rollo was actually a major character in it, though. So, Rollo is in the show, the brother of Ragnar. Even though Ragnar might never even actually existed, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother podcast episode. But Rollo himself in the show and in real life actually did become a Christian, did get his own lands. That did happen. So Rollo was at the time leading Viking raids all over France. Essentially, the Vikings, the Danes, were excellent seafaring people. They were able to travel the seas better than anybody else, and because of their long ships, they were able to go where no other boat could really go. That gave them the ability to raid pretty much everywhere, and because they were better warriors than pretty much everybody else, and had better surprise attacks than everybody else, you have surprise, axes, and boats, and these dudes were just going all over Europe, fucking everybody up.
I imagine a battle axe is like effective as fuck when it's just like on foot battle and just horses.
It is actually. Because
they
of
fought
the power,
they fought dismounted.
they did.
Yeah.
They did have horses,
that
but they
actually-
didn't use them like
Yeah,
that.
that actually comes up later because that's one of the game changers for the Normans. Later on, as they grew into whatchamacallit, French.
Yeah, when the French and Normans became integrated a bit. Yeah, so that they do use, especially in the Battle of Hastings, that does come into play later on. But before that, they fought on land. They did have horses, but they didn't really use them.
Yeah, they used them. They used them to arrive.
Right.
As a troop transport. Them and the Anglo-Saxons, they both fought that way.
Oh wow.
The battle axe. So yes, there's actually watched a whole documentary about the battle axe. I need more hobbies, but yeah. So, but yeah, the documentary I watched about the battle axe, it showed how effective it actually was against everything. Because not only can it, it's meant to split. So obviously split wood, split everything, but it's meant to split whatever it hits. And because of that, it was incredibly effective against whatever armor they were wearing at the time. So incredibly effective weapon, especially like, oh, you have a shield. That shield's made out of wood. Guess what axes are good at splitting?
Yeah, so that fucker gotta be heavy then.
And it's held by flesh.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a whole thing. And actually, they weren't as heavy as you would think. That's a whole nother. We can get into that in a whole nother. If we do an episode about the Vikings, we can dive into that. But anyways, to put the point into this though, incredibly effective warriors. They were fucking up everybody they touched. So they were in England at the time. They were in France. They were everywhere. So this part is about France. Rollo, as I said before, destroying France. In order to get them to stop, they made a treaty. And the king at the time, whose name I thought I wrote down.
I know I didn't write it down.
I feel like my notes just didn't save part of it because I know I wrote down the year. I know I wrote down the king's name of France at the time. Whatever. Anyways, the point of the story, though, is that Normandy was founded because the king of France was really trying to get his people to not be killed by Vikings and decided like, hey, well, if I can get the Vikings to actually side with us, then maybe we'll be protected. So he's like, hey, Rollo, got a deal for you. Meet me by this river and me by this river. He's like, hey, dog, I got this idea. You guys get all the land between this river and the sea in exchange for you guys protecting us from other Vikings. And Rollo's like, all right. If you know anything about the Viking culture or the Vikings' big problem was that their lands that they came from were very hard to farm. Well, France is fertile as fuck, so they were able to go to France and actually establish, actually colonize. And so they're like, well, we actually have land now. We can actually farm. We can actually grow our people, and they did. So they took it. Part of the deal was you have to protect the French from any other Viking raids. You have to convert to Christianity. And there was a whole foot thing that was in there too. I'll get to that.
Those were the two though.
But yeah, the big two were converted to Christianity, and you stop raiding us, and also protect us from future Vikings raiding us too. So they even land like Rollo's like, all right, cool. So the Normans raiders just made Normandy.
Well, they founded Normandy.
Founded Normandy,
and
that's
because it's essentially the Norman.
Right.
So that's where the name for the land comes from, and then they became Normans as the time went on.
Right. So the fun thing that I mentioned, I only saw like one story about this, but apparently like it was
like a Quentin Tarantino type thing.
Thankfully, no.
Okay.
What? Oh, the foot thing?
Yeah, thankfully no. Thankfully no. I mean, I guess in not Blood In, Blood Out, but
How many times did feet appear in the film?
just once. So where was I in the story?
Feet thing.
Yes. Okay. So the King of France was like, okay, cool. In order to seal this pact, Rollo, you would have to kiss the foot of the king. And Rollo was like, dude, I'm not bending my knee to anybody. I'm not kissing the foot of a king either. Fuck out of here.
This is a Quentin Tarantino.
From Dusk Till Dawn is what I was trying to think of. Not Blood In, but I'm like, Blood In, Blood Out? No, From Dusk Till Dawn. The whole thing. Anyways, so Rollo's like, dude, no, fuck off. I'm not doing that. And he actually had one of his subordinates was like, hey, dude, like, can you do this? And the story goes is that the guy went to pick up the king's foot and then ended up flipping him. So
You fucking hip tossed him. Judo flip from the fucking ankle.
dude, because like the whole thing, and this like blew my mind, but the French audacity doesn't surprise me that much because it's the French fucking audacity, and they're like, oh, we gotta kiss the foot of the king. You're the one who wants peace.
So
you're begging my people to stop killing yours.
The Vikings were the ones killing him.
Yes.
And then the French were like, okay, so if you stop killing us, we'll give you some land.
It's all image.
And he's like, but first, you must kiss my foot.
And
Exactly.
He was like, the guy was like, you gotta kiss his foot, dude. He's like, we can't grow fucking tomatoes over and fucking.
Right, we can't.
What do you want to do? He's like, all right.
And people, there were no showers.
This is why Europe has never been taken seriously.
Well, obviously they didn't take it seriously either. So yeah, that essentially the king was like,
seasoned.
very much so.
The flip is the best part. That's
Right,
like-
exactly.
And this little pig went.
And that's how you got dysentery. Exactly. That's what like the story just made me laugh because I'm like the audacity of a fucking king to beg somebody to stop killing them and then still want them to kiss his foot. Get the fuck out of here.
I'd like to say I'm surprised.
But you remember this is French too. It's like, man.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Right. Anyways, so again, Rollo's people started colonizing there. They formed Normandy. They started integrating because of how it was set up. They were given land that people were already on. So
that's never backfired.
This is not yours anymore. You must go.
Those are the French people that are behind on their bills.
honestly, though, so because of just the space that they occupied, the French people were already there. So essentially, they made Rollo and his Vikings lords of French people. So they had land and people that they were in charge of that were French. This caused the integration, like Ben was mentioning earlier. This started the integration between the French and the Normans. So the Northmen and the French culture started to intertwine. The Vikings were starting to be baptized, started using Christianity. They stopped speaking their native language and started speaking French, like that sort of thing.
Intermarrying.
Yep.
And this is where you find Norman French
Exactly.
begin to exist.
Yeah, so it was a blending of languages. That's something that's gonna happen a few times.
Baguette
obviously.
with an axe.
Indeed.
That's what had the guy try. He's like, this is fucking delicious. What the fuck is this? Le baguette.
And they give him a cigarette.
The first Frenchman to come in with wine, and we drink mead.
Oh, that party had to have been weird.
Le cigarette.
That party had to have been really weird. So yeah, like this is which comes into play later on, especially we're talking about the languages thing too. Languages is going to be brought up again later on in this podcast. So, but keep that in mind that this is the beginning of an intermingling of these two cultures. So cool. That's Normandy. Moving over to England. So in England, as I mentioned before, the Northmen were already were raiding as far as the eye can see. They were raiding in France. They were raiding in England. They were raiding in all of the other small countries too. But England also did have okay-ish army to fight, kind of like the French did, but they were still getting their asses kicked. Again, they had they formed a treaty. All right, guys. All right. There was a treaty in 886, where King Alfred of Wessex and Guthrum of the Vikings actually made a peace treaty. So pretty much the same kind of thing that happened with Rollo. This actually happened before the thing with Rollo, but they were given lands again. Like, hey, Wessex, can y'all stop killing us? Like, you Vikings are kicking our asses again. Can you please stop? We'll give you some land. Settle your people here. Blah 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 blah. So whereas with Rollo, they were given they found in Normandy. There were people intermingled. Everything was great. England did not go that well. So the Vikings were given given land in Wessex. They started bringing the people over in boats. Started farming. Started doing all that stuff, which is great. However, the treaty did not last forever. What happened was, and I think it was in the year 1001. Vikings started raiding in England again. The king at the time was King Alfred, or not Alfred. I'm sorry, King Aethelred. Aethelred, whatever. It's a weird A in that.
Yeah, it's Old English.
Yeah,
Old English. That's what that
Stop
was.
caring about that in 1776. So,
that was modern English.
stop caring about that too. Anywho, so again, the king's name I can't remember.
Yeah,
but anyways,
I've only read them.
I've never heard it said out loud, so I've only read it too. So, like I said, they were starting to get raided in the year 1001. And there was also a lot of rumors that King Aethelred II. I'm sorry. We're told that the Danes were starting to plot against him. Like my enemies are plotting against me.
The Danish
are plotting against me.
Those fucks.
And they're going to try to kill me and take over the country. Blah 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 blah. So what the king decided to do was murder all of them. All of them.
Solid strategy.
As one does.
So this was the St. Brice Day massacre. This happened in the year 1002, where he executed the Danes in England. This was a Saint's Day, and this was St. Brice Day, where he just went across the country, brutally murdering the civilians of the Danes. So these people weren't the warriors; they were farmers. And he went and killed. If you were Danish, he killed you, essentially, to protect himself, quote unquote.
That sucks.
Like it's like the whole thing where like you want to protect yourself like in your house, so you go to your neighbor's house and kill them. It's that theory.
I see.
But British. So apparently though, what I learned while I was researching this is actually in 2008, archaeologists were able to find one of the mass burial sites in Oxford that they believe had part of the massacre in it. They were found about 30 or so bodies.
Oh, wow.
But the bones and the skulls, all that shit was so badly mutilated, like it must have been part of the massacre. And it was like, you know, I was talking like men, women, children, that kind of thing. If you had a Viking blood in you, he killed you.
Fuck.
So that's what's going on in England.
We should actually go back a second. And mention that this is all happening because after the Roman withdrawal in 410 AD. So when it was Rome, or when it was Rome controlled, you had the Britons, Britons, Britons. They were ruled by the Romans, governed by the Romans, and then the Anglo-Saxons that we're talking about now came from the Germanic side of Europe. And started flooding in too, because they're on the continental side. There weren't.
This is going great.
There weren't Anglo-Saxons.
Right.
They became Anglo-Saxons once they were in England because you had the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes all migrated to what would become Britain, and then kind of formed into Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, I guess I could have done that part of the research too. I just didn't go back that far.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty far back.
I went deep.
Yeah, I thought about the Roman Empire, but I'm like, well, that's so long ago. It's fine. Whatever. Well, you got it, so that's fine. All right, cool. So that's what's going on. Anglo-Saxons in England, well, what became England. And then we have the third party involved, the other Vikings. So they're... Oh, I should have written that differently. That's not right. That's on me. Hardrada. There we go. I also never saw it spoken or heard it spoken. I just wrote. I've seen it written down, but
that's the one. That's the one I actually heard over and over again. Harold Hardrada.
Yeah. So that dude, Hardrada is he's a Viking. So the very brief. I don't know how much more you might have on him, but I'll give it a kind of a brief overview, and you can fill in the blanks. So Hardrada, what he was doing at the time with the Vikings, what Vikings were known to do in the first place, which because they were such skilled warriors, they either spent their time raiding or they spent their time as mercenaries because their biggest thing was to get fortune. They were getting gold hand over fist or taking it hand over fist. More fist.
Hand with fist.
Hand balled into fist. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, hand balled into fist holding X. So Hardrada was an infamously well-known warrior. Him and his men were going. They served everywhere. Essentially,
he fought everywhere, all over the continent,
which is great. I mean, I knew of him, but I didn't know how much fighting he was actually doing to amass how much he actually did financially for his people. So one of the biggest status symbols, well, I mean, in any part of history, is money, and he had a lot of it. So after he fought in all these wars as a mercenary, he actually was able to return back home to what was that country called at the time? I mean, they're Danes. What was their country called?
Danelaw?
No, that was the name of. We're going to cover that later.
Oh yeah.
But
well, no, because he was the king of Norway.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was the king of Norway.
Yeah, the Normans, right? Norway, right? Yeah, those guys. So, so he came back, became the king. His play into this more comes in after I think he found out about the massacre.
Well, and he found out about Edward the Confessor dying.
Yeah,
and he was. I forget if he was promised or assumed that he had I'm
going to get into that.
A deed to the throne or not.
Yeah, because there's also 3 people that have claim, quote unquote, to the throne. I'm definitely getting to that. He's one of the 3 that have claim to the throne. I should have mentioned that earlier too, actually. My bad. So yeah, he's one of the people that has claim to the throne, and he is going to come and attempt to claim it. Hence part of the battle of one of these battles that we're going to get to in a minute here. So yeah, those are our three players, at first, at least. Those are our 3 countries, at least. Getting into the players though. So, like we mentioned, there's, Hardrada, we'll get into that in a minute. But King Edward, was the, King Edward the Confessor, I believe.
Edward the Confessor.
Yeah. So they all had names. He's not my favorite. So
I do love the fact that he refused to boink his wife, and that's why this all happened.
Yes. It all started because he didn't have sex with his wife, but he did have sex with somebody else.
That is, true. We'll get into that.
We're going to get there.
But yeah, it is all the English language is the way it is because he didn't plow a field.
We don't know how big this fucking field was. All right? You gotta give this guy a fucking break a little bit.
No, I don't. He didn't have cable. He didn't have choices. Just get in there and do it.
But imagine the smell of those back shots.
And what if he's only got like a hand push mower, and he's not rocking a riding lawnmower? You know what I'm saying?
Tough.
What's
Yep, we speak this language because of that. Also, I'm ready to hear the comment section because I know somebody's going to say something about you referring to him refusing to plow his fields. So I am just ready for the comments coming in about that. It's gonna happen.
If the video game talk didn't lose more female viewers, then that definitely did. For sure.
Yeah, we're just dropping like flies, so apparently.
That's fine. That's fine.
Just put Ben's email address right at the bottom of the video. They direct all questions.
I just realized your family's gonna listen to this.
Yep.
Yeah, if you guys
my email address is john@aol.com.
If you want Ben's direct contact, send us an email.
No idea how close that is.
Well, it's probably John at, what was it, the old military thing? Wasn't it a rocket mail? Rocket fish? Rocket something?
No. I'm not going to correct you guys in public forum.
Fair enough.
Coward.
I know I'm in the ballpark, though, unless it's been a while since I even cared, but anyways. All right, so yeah, back to the plowing of the fields.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof, indeed. So Edward at the time, the reason why this field wasn't plowed in the first place, there was actually the rumor that he just didn't like this woman.
Yeah.
Because it was an arranged marriage because he needed support of, was it Goodwin? Or Godwin, I'm sorry.
Well, no, it would, shit. Hold on a second there. I can't find it.
Well, because, I'm sorry.
Godwinson.
Harold Godwinson was Anglo-Saxon noble and Edward the Confessor's brother-in-law, crowned king by the Witan after Edward's death.
Yes.
Oh, well,
So that's
okay.
that's how they all tie in.
But I'm sorry. Edward married Edith of Wessex because he needed the support of Wessex to actually consolidate his power at the time. Is what it was. So he needed that. He also needed Godwin. That's why he actually, because Godwin was exiled at the time. He actually brought him back from exile because he needed his help too. Essentially, he was just trying to consolidate power in England, and he needed all of these. He needed all of this support in order to do it.
Yeah, well, and England isn't really England yet.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes,
It's all these little
territories.
I guess, I wouldn't quite even call them feudal, but
No.
almost a loose confederacy of, I don't know. You can't call them states. You can't call them really much of anything. But
I'm gonna go with territories.
yeah, I don't know what else you would call them, but not England like we think of.
Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, they're not united.
Yeah.
He was trying to consolidate his power. He needed all these other people to help him do it. So he married Edith for that. He brought Godwin back from exile for that. Like we just said, he didn't plow his field. He had no heir. He was getting towards the end of his life too. So this is where the story kind of takes off, where he's he makes some mistakes. Not plowing his fields were one of them. And the other one was having a bastard son named William the Bastard.
He plowed a tanning field.
He plowed, so William the Bastard, who's my favorite name in the story, by the way. So William the Bastard, who later does change his name after he does some things. He is the illegitimate son of King Edward. His mother was a tanner, and which obviously has no noble birth. She was just working leather all day, and here we are.
She knows how to work leather.
Just working leather.
Just working the leather. And so the thing was, is as he got older, closer to his death, obviously, Edward allegedly promised the throne to his son William. So William was like a duke.
Duke of Normandy.
Of Normandy, yeah.
Duke of Normandy.
So this is why Normandy.
Yeah, Normandy is a duchy. So yeah, he would be the duke.
Right. So yeah, he's Duke of Normandy. Which obviously gives him a good amount of power, and we'll come to that in a minute too. So, one of the cool things, I guess I shouldn't say cool, but one of the things about William is William has some ambition, and he also again had his father to tell him, "Hey, dude, when I die, you're going to become king. It's going to be great, awesome." Unfortunately, Godwin had his own plans for that because Godwin had some power as well.
We do have to go back 1 second. Harold Godwinson wasn't the exiled one. It was that Tostig.
Oh,
Godwinson. Harold is the other one that him and William are gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Tostig was the one. Tostig was the one that actually sided with Hadrada, and that was one of the things that got him exiled.
Oh yeah, that didn't work out for him. So yeah, all right. I have the names written down. The first name written down later on. I don't know why I didn't do that all the way through.
It's one of the few times that the same last name pops up twice in one of these things.
Yeah, it threw me off a little bit.
Usually the siblings are all dead.
Yeah,
and it's just it's usually the siblings are all dead and it's a revenge story or something like that.
There is a revenge story in here.
It's true, but yeah.
So William the Bastard, obviously being a bastard. He was the Duke. However, people really didn't like him that much, and they tried to kill him a few times. It's fine. He survived. There was a dispute though, and I had to look this one up just to get the details right about it. So he was before he was trying to take over the mainland or the island. I'm sorry. He was sieging a town on the edge of Normandy. So he was trying to, there was a town that was in dispute, like, oh, is it part of Normandy? Is it not? He said it is. And they said, no, dude, it's not. Like, you can't do that. So he went there to persuade them with knives and Axis. And he was there, and they're like, okay, well, dude, screw you, whatever. They fought, he wins. He takes over the castle. So he takes over the keep, at least, the castle and whatnot. And the problem is that the townsfolk all hated him. Again, the people who were trying to kill him in the first place, this didn't help his reputation. One of the things that they did, and because they knew his mother was of no noble birth and was just a tanner, they decided it would be a good idea to hang animal hides on the walls of their homes, outside of their homes, to mock him for being the son of a tanner. He was not a fan of this.
This is the 1000 AD version of Twitter.
Yeah. They were talking smack.
Your mother.
That's the hashtag right there.
Yep.
I gotta post it on my wall.
They did post it on their wall. You earned it.
So proud of you. Wasn't so hot up here and kick your ass.
So because William wasn't taking it, he went into the city with his troops and had them cut off all the hands of the people that did it.
Oh, damn.
So
Give me your hands.
yeah, this is going to be a theme, by the way. He's going to do a lot of this. So this is just the first instance that I found of him just doing this. Fast forward a bit. Like I said before, Edward had promised William the throne after he died. Harold Godwinson also had sworn to William that he would be the next king. Now, there's a chance, and I was trying to look into this, but I didn't have time, that William at the time might have been holding his family hostage. So William was holding Harold's family hostage to make sure that he promised him a throne.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Harold gave him an oath of fealty over holy relics.
Yeah, I was gonna cross that bridge.
It's during the hostage theory.
Yeah,
that's why he did the oath over the holy relics.
Yep. So he might have had his family held hostage. It's fine. So we now have William the Bastard as the alleged heir, according to the current King Edward, and according to Harold. We have Hardrada, who also thought that he was promised the throne, because I think this is when the Danes were still in charge of all of England, because the Danes did conquer it at one point. That his people were promised the land after that too.
I kind of lost track because they conquered it, lost it, reconquered it, and I forget how it ended up.
Yeah, they reconquered it again, but then they lost it again. But because the current king, I think, was part Norman anyways. I think his bloodline came from the Normans. So they thought that he had claim.
The Norman bloodline left that king.
Okay.
Oh,
it was a prior one.
Yeah.
It was. That's right. It was hard to keep track of. You're right.
Because whatchamacallit, William and whatnot, they had to leave England at some point, if I'm remembering correctly, like early in his life.
Yeah, because Edward had left, I think, and he was in Normandy for a while.
Yes, and because there's a whole succession there that I had written down, and I just got rid of it because I was losing myself in it.
I would have fallen asleep, yes.
And because it's William's older brother was the one that got blinded.
Oh yeah,
after they,
I forgot about that part.
I think right before they left to go to Normandy.
Well, because
if I remember correctly,
they were in Normandy, but they were invited back to England.
There you go.
To reclaim the throne.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lie. And the dude poked his brother's eyes out.
Yeah.
And be like, well, he's blind. He can't be a king.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they left and went back to Normandy. Yeah, it gets all muddled. Like there's a lot of back and forth with that. That's why I left it out. Because
cutting the hands off, poking the eyes out, Jesus.
It's the past.
The past was fucked.
I guess, this is very true.
It's fine.
If you made it past all the diseases and all that stuff. And
dude, if you made it to be a teenager, you were lucky.
Yeah.
You still had to contend with people. You could survive all the dysentery you want, but those bipedal apes will get you every fucking time.
They have axes. That's the whole thing.
You could retire at 14.
From life.
Yeah. It's because 20 was a senior.
Yes.
All right. So we have the big player. So we have the king Edward about to die. We have his son William, who has claim to the throne. We have Harold, who's allegedly supports the son, and we have Hardrada the Viking, who also has claim. So that's the big players that's going in. That's what's going to set up this battle. So let's go with Edward dies. All right. So Edward, he dies. And this is when the whole situation starts to get all deathy, get all backstabby, if you will. So Harold, the guy who swore over the holy relics to support William the Bastard, yeah, he betrayed him. He was like, dude, no, fuck that. I'm the king. This is mine. Fuck everybody else.
Fuck you. Fuck your daddy.
And he was like, the whole thing is one of those situations where when Edward died, and Harold was there, it was like, dude, he said I can be the king now. He said, and don't worry about it. It's fine.
One of those, the body ain't even cold yet.
Yeah,
moments. That's how it comes across.
That's honestly how the story. When I was reading about it, that's how it pretty much sounded to me. It's like, King Edward died. Harold was like, suck, takes a shit, and then kicks him into a ditch, and then becomes king, pretty much. So obviously, that means that Edward, that Harold broke the oath that Harold made to William. So in order to kill a king, you needed a lot, actually. So in order to kill a king, you needed to be essentially blessed by the Pope, or the king itself has to be like a complete and utter piece of shit. Well, Harold had just got there, so
all of them.
I mean,
all of them.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was good old William the Bastard went down to the Pope. Was like, hey, Pope, this dude swore over holy relics that he was gonna support me becoming the next king, and he betrayed me in front of God and my bastard mother. I'm gonna kill him. And so the Pope was like, yeah, that's fine, dude. Whatever.
I'm gonna give you a 5.
I'm pretty sure he also paid him some money.
Without a fucking doubt.
He definitely paid him some money.
Without a doubt.
Well, the Catholic Church taking taking blood money? I've never heard of such.
You want an extension on the Sistine Chapel? Let me off this dude.
Again, the Catholic Church taking bribes and money that comes from horrible places? I've never heard of such. Go back and listen to our episode about Nazi gold. Anyways.
Or don't.
But do, though. We need listeners.
This is true. Start at 30 minutes.
No.
Unhinged.
It's my favorite episode.
Of course it is.
God, okay. Moving on. So yeah, that set us up our major players. So that's countries, that's the players. War is about to start. Ben, you can take it over from here.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
God.
War.
So there's the Vikings.
Shut up!
There's French people.
There's actually too many French people. Then they're kind of French, kind of not French.
All right, so
and then they're all kind of German, but also not kind of German. It's weird.
Where were the Romans?
They were vastly on fire.
They were counting their money. But
partially, yeah.
Yeah, so Harold Hardrada, and it's just now dawning on me that there's 2 Harolds.
There are 2 Harolds.
You keep seeing it spelled and you forget that there's it's the same, essentially the same name spoken.
That's why I have Hardrada's name.
Yeah.
And I didn't put his first name because I was like, this is
it gets confusing. So yeah, Hardrada invades. He lands in
Wessex. Was it Wessex?
I believe so. The geography is a little weird to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. They landed in York.
Oh, okay. There you go. So yeah, he lands in York and starts doing the Viking thing, pillaging, rampaging, what have you.
The usual.
Needlepoint. And Godwinson, the other herald, Godwinson gets word of it, amasses an army. I learned a lot about Anglo-Saxon armies during this and how they're brought up. And basically you just went town to town gathering troops the whole way. There was no standing army.
Yeah.
In this time period or anything. So it's just you and you come with us.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're only gone, or ideally you're only gone for about 2 months because all the fighting force were all farmers.
Well, yeah, nothing would get done.
Well, if they kept you for longer than 2 months, the whole nation dies.
Yeah.
and because you can't yield crops. So anyway,
Also, you just didn't live longer than 2 months. You typically both armies died by that point.
And I think we did we ever discuss this with the Crusades? Did we ever go over the Crusades?
no, we
Do still need
haven't
to
done, we
do that?
haven't done the Crusades yet.
Okay, cool. Because that's a big part of the Crusades too. Is why
Well-
there were so many problems.
William would actually plug into the Crusades nicely. The first one.
Well, that's when
Yeah.
that's after we talk about his name.
Uh-huh.
That's after the name change.
Yeah. But so yeah, that would actually be a decent plug-in. Oop, geez.
True.
Speaking of plug-in. So yeah, he invades and Godwinson starts assembling his army, marching north from wherever the hell he was, and marching north, and they get into this, prolonged battle where nobody really knows if Godwinson was a good leader or a lucky one, because there's really only two. I shouldn't say only, but out of this, there's two major battles to choose from, and they go wildly different. And that was the Battle of Stamford Bridge, where Godwinson actually, and it doesn't seem right, but Godwinson's army got the jump on the Vikings.
Right.
That's not usually how you feel it's going to go down.
Yeah, usually it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, and it's even believed that they didn't even have their armor available to them at the time. And so you're at Battle of Stamford Bridge and near York, and where Godwinson defeats Hardrada. And if you have ever and killed Tostig there too. So yeah, his brother. And but if you've ever heard the story about the Viking berserker that stands on a bridge holding off enemy fighters, and while they're coming in one by one, that's this battle.
Oh,
It's Stamford Bridge.
You know what's funny about that? We've talked about this a few different times. Actually, we brought this up before. I forgot what episode it was, but I was talking about because in almost every culture there's a warrior that's done this.
Yes.
And,
Benki.
Yeah, because Ben K, that's
Ben K.
one of our older episodes. He did it. Zhang Fei, Chinese folklore, he did it. Viking folklore, this dude did it. Only he got stabbed in his crotch.
Yeah. And this is very well documented.
Yeah, it is.
This one. And yeah, they floated under the bridge, and yeah.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, because this dude was all right, so imagine this.
You got balls?
Not anymore. So imagine this though, dude, your whole army's on this other side of the bridge, and there's one Viking dude on this bridge that's just fucking up everybody you know by himself.
Yeah, that's fucked.
You float a dude underneath the damn bridge and stab him in the crotch.
Yeah,
You do what you gotta do. Modern problems.
absolutely. I agree.
Spear to the crotch.
I'm the dude under the bridge for sure.
So, so that's taken care of. Hardrada is killed there. Or Hardrada and Tostig, as I said. So they march back. Army is disbanded, this, that, and the other. I forget how many miles, but basically, northern England, and they're going to march to central England, right? Or what would be England. So they get down there, and William the Bastard has been hanging out. See, this is what's hilarious to me, actually. So the year 1066, William is sitting on the other side of the English Channel with 600 boats, roughly 600 boats to go across the channel, just waiting on the wind to go the right direction, right? And 900 years later, we sent 6,000 boats
The opposite way.
the other way into Normandy. And I just think that's funny. I don't know why. I just think that's funny. But anyway, yeah, 600 to 6,000. And anyway, so yeah, he's literally just, and I love the mental image of this guy just pacing for 3 months in the sand.
And it's
and just
fuck the wind.
that's fucking wind.
Just checks the flag, God damn it!
It's today the day I will taste my enemy's blood. Fuck. And but anyway, so the winds finally, switch. They cross the channel, and however long it took to get across the channel back then, but they land near Hastings, Sussex, and Harold marches south to face William's. I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. What William did there was he started setting stuff on fire. So it was kind of a Musashi a little bit, his army. And I mean, we don't know. I don't think that we know whether he knew that Harold was just in a fight or not.
I don't think so.
But so
I mean, maybe. But.
yeah, maybe not. Who knows? But regardless, he just disbanded his army. So he has to get it back together, march I think it was 2 days down to get to Hastings.
19 days.
Was it 19 days?
Damn.
Maybe it was 2 days to York then.
I thought it was 4 days to York.
Yeah. Well, maybe York was a short one then.
Well, from where they were, I think it was 4 days to get to York, and then I didn't know the.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that long. So they've got to march. So William's just setting shit on fire, talking shit throughout the whole southern part of England.
Yeah, like
this guy ain't got no balls. He's got bad credit.
They got no balls, Robert.
just to Musashi this guy down to southern England.
Oh shit!
And everything, and get him to fight with an exhausted army.
You know what's even funnier about that? It's not the first time William just starts setting shit on fire.
No, it's a theme.
It's honestly a good move. Like,
it's a great move. It's a great move. Like,
it's very Viking of him.
You're gonna ignore me?
Ignore this fire.
Ignore this fucker.
Ignore this fire, bitch.
You know.
And again, context. It was 19 days, but they covered 185.
It was
miles.
super fast.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So they're not sleeping. They're barely
Like
eating.
10 miles a day.
Yeah, that's impressive.
There are
marching.
As an
Yeah, there are no cliff bars. You're just hungry the whole time.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And they get marched down, and this is where the Anglo-Saxons meet Norman cavalry, and it's kind of a bit of a watch for a second there because they're actually fighting uphill, but it did give them an edge. Anyway, shield wall against shield wall, this, that, and the other. And actually, they believed for a second there, Godwinson was doing real good. And then for a second there, I guess some of William's army thought he died. And there was some sort of mistaken identity happened and then they started kind of falling back, kind of retreating.
Oh, no, my boy.
Well, then the Anglo-Saxons started giving chase in different spots. And William, according to reports, starts running around saying, essentially saying, "Hey, I'm alive. What are you freaking doing? Go, 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 go." Well, the Anglo-Saxons just broke their ranks. So they got mopped up. And I believe Godwinson died from an arrow in the eye. I believe.
Yeah, I think that's the story.
Yeah, because God is always cinematic, apparently, with these rulers.
I mean, if you're going to have main character energy, you have to have a main character death.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
And there's always something through the eye.
Always.
It's or
even they saw The Godfather.
Yeah.
Wow, what the fuck?
Oh, there's a nice little bee or a wasp right
man.
there.
Wasp.
He got you?
Yeah, fuck yeah, he got me.
Yeah, you crazy bastard.
Motherfucker.
Where the hell did it even come
I don't
from?
know.
I've been casually watching him fly in from.
Thanks for the heads up, you
Heads up, dude.
He was over there last I saw.
Ah, man, he's going to get shot.
Don't blame me for that. Oh, I see it on the door now. Somebody give me a shoe.
Is that? I don't think that's him on the door.
It's on the door, yeah.
He's on the door frame.
Yeah, on the door frame.
I see.
Oh, man.
Somebody go kill him. I don't have a shoe.
That fucking hurts.
Fucking
I don't have a shoe.
I got
Somebody
a gun.
kill it.
That's all I got.
Somebody go kill it. I'm not joking about this.
All right, let me.
I'm not trying. I live
Where did
here.
he come in from?
This little fucker.
That's actually an excellent question.
Yeah.
It's getting wild in
There's
here.
a screen, right? Yeah, there's a screen.
Yeah, there's a screen on the windows up here. I've never used the window over there, though.
I must have put my arm like right on him.
Yeah, you must have.
Is it from the window over there?
I don't know. But we're going to. All right, this is the timeout on the podcast.
Well, we're finally going to have to edit one.
No, we're not.
Why did we send the one guy who can't see?
Hit him. Hit him again.
Hit him again, Endo. Let him suffer.
Thanks, Beach.
Yeah, like a paper towel or something.
I mean, there's paper towels to the left. After,
The ones that John.
that John threw. I really wish we had hold music right now.
How do you not announce that?
He was over there, and I was just like, "Oh, there's
He wasn't.
Nobody saw that other than you.
I figured he was going to mind his business."
It's a freaking wasp. They are full of hate and stingers.
Can they keep singing?
Yes, they can.
Yeah, he got me twice, I think.
Not this one.
Well, anyways, I don't know where it came in from though.
I don't know.
Close another window. Where are we at?
What's that?
That's a spider.
Okay.
That's normal up here.
Ah.
Anyways, yeah, John, next time you see a freaking wasp or a hornet, say something.
It was like 15 minutes ago. He was over there. I thought he was going to...
And then he wasn't. That's what Godwinson said, and he's dead.
Well, you're Godwinson. You died.
Fuck. I'm going to set your house on fire.
Where were we?
I don't fucking know. Anyway,
Ben got shot in the eye.
The first time someone's gotten wounded during a fucking podcast. All because somebody couldn't give a message.
Ben is on red alert right now. We are on red.
I mean, I don't blame him, honestly.
I fucking stung. I'm glad it's going away. I was a little worried for a second there.
Yeah. I don't have an EpiPen, so
Well, I don't think I'm that kind of allergic.
I got Benadryl.
It is welting up pretty good
No,
already.
that'll happen.
So anyway, if I die in my sleep tonight, I hope it makes you happy. Anyway, these are my final words. Fuck John.
As it has been said, so it shall be known.
At the hospital, he's like,
You know what? You know
Fuck
what's
you.
great is that the audio side of this, the people who are just listening to this in a car, it's just going to be out of nowhere, just fuck.
he said fuck. That's why it's my favorite word.
Someone's going to get in a car accident.
It's fine.
Turn left. Turn left. Fuck! So anyway, before I bleed out, I have a tourniquet. That's a lie. Yeah, where was I? So William. Oh yeah. So yeah, they defeated Godwinson. Arrow to the eye. The irony.
It is palpable.
You didn't get stung in the eye.
Close enough. A lot closer than it had to be, John.
If you had just said something with your words.
It's like, you know, if you remember 9/11, see something, say something. But no, you want Al Qaeda to win, you fuck. Anyway.
John is the worst.
It was an inside job.
Yes! You're the inside! You fuck! And I'm just the innocent stockbroker here taking jetliners to the face! Anyway.
Yeah, let it out. You know?
Anyways.
I'm real proud of that one. So Godwinson dies, Tostig dies. I'm sorry, Tostig was in the other one. And yeah, William the Bastard becomes William the Conqueror. And now now England, or proto England, starts to fall under Roman rule. And what's his face being the last Anglo-Saxon ruler of England. So this is where it's similar to what happened in Normandy with French kind of I don't want to say infiltrating, but finding its way into the old Viking culture. Now, what became Norman culture starts finding its way into Anglo-Saxon culture. The nobility is all but replaced with Normans. So the Anglo-Saxons are out through various means, and what have you. But the nobility is removed and replaced with Norman. Old English merges with Norman French and influencing language and law. Norman architecture, like Romanesque cathedrals and castles, the stuff that you really do equate with when you think of medieval knights and those structures that come to your mind first and foremost.
Yeah,
most likely those start popping up. Or at least had architectural influence. Anglo-Saxon nobility replaced with Norman elites. I already said that. And in England and Normandy are united under one crown, and long-term tensions arise with the French crown. So this is kind of the genesis of England and France having a problem with each other for the next 1,000 years. Well, that's a little strong. We're already in 1,000, but the next. No,
that still counts, actually.
I'd say all the way up to the 1700s at the very least. But where they wanted for the next like 700 years.
Right, they literally had 100 years of war.
Yeah.
It's like-
So and it just sounded wrong saying like nearly 1,000 years, but it really it kind of is. Yeah. So long-term tensions. Let's see here.
I actually have a list of like a bunch of words that were changed.
Oh, hell yeah.
Kind of influenced.
We're gonna
Yeah,
get
go
that.
for it. Yeah, go for it because I got some too.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them. So, like some basic ones, you would think bread turned to loaf or cake to pastry.
I did not know that one.
Let's see, dinner, supper, or banquet. Words like sad became sorrowful, mad became insane, brave, courageous. And then some funny ones, like spit, expectorate, or guts became intestines, or poop became excrement.
So,
Or drunk was inebriated. That was another really cool one. Snot was mucus. Regurgitate. That's another cool one for puke.
I like how you went for the highbrow ones. Like,
We know
fart was flatulence. That was my
Fucking
favorite
hell.
one.
I like how you can just basically break this down into like elementary school and then like
well, it
mature conversation.
it is interesting. It's and this is gonna sound a little silly, but I think you'll know what I mean. But any word that you have, a lot of words have different ones you can pick, but there's a lot of words in the English language that, like supper and dinner, are a good example where you have like these are your two choices, and there's a lot of that I noticed throughout the Norman versus Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah,
And everything. The ones that are existing side by side still.
Yeah, some of them were kind of simple though. Like one of them was book became Bible, or sin to transgression. Words. I guess that's really not that simple. One of my favorite ones was Godspell turning to gospel.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was really cool because Godspell was basically meant good news.
So,
Yeah,
and kind of what I was touching on earlier. So, food and dining. The blending of cultures also influenced English cuisine. Anglo-Saxon food tended to be simpler and more rooted in local agriculture, while Roman cuisine introduced richer, more refined dishes and new ingredients such as spices, wine, and more diverse meats. Over time, these culinary traditions merged. For example, an Anglo-Saxon might say cow from Old English for the animal, while a Norman would say beef for the meat. So that's why, you don't say I'm having cow for dinner.
yeah,
So, the beef is coming from the Norman, but cow is the animal is coming from the Anglo-Saxon.
yeah.
Yeah. And then sheep and mutton, pig and pork, deer and venison.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of that is Anglo-Saxon versus Norman. And then let's see here. Daily life and local customs. Anglo-Saxon traditions remain strong in rural areas, farming techniques, folk festivals, oral storytelling. Like when you tell somebody something.
Situational awareness.
Dick.
There are 4 people up here, and out of the 4, one of us saw it.
I didn't see it.
Gotta be aware.
But we sent you to kill it, so you should be mad at us too.
We appreciate that. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have taken the gun.
Proud of you.
Don't shoot up my house.
That would have been funny to see on the video. You just see the flash.
Discharge a weapon on a podcast?
hey, DJ, it's on the other wall. You're just shooting the wall.
I'm just living my
you're
life.
Just shooting the fucking fire.
Well, actually, there's a
over
screen
here.
right there, and nothing's behind me. I actually would have dropped off fine. Don't shoot up my house.
There's a school over there.
That way.
No, it's straight across.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Whoops. Anyways,
Now we know.
now we know. Knowing is half the battle.
Most of the population were peasants, and their day-to-day life was only marginally affected by the ruling elite, which you would expect. Anglo-Saxon material culture, such as clothing styles, pottery, and house construction, continued well into the Roman period, blending gradually with Norman tastes. Now, what's interesting there is the clothing styles and whatnot. So, what is it? So the reason we wear we wear pants instead of trousers. I think. I think that was how it went. I think,
or the blouse compared to a shirt.
Blouse or shirt. That's
my favorite.
Yeah, that's Norman, and then also home instead of a hom with an A.
Oh yeah.
And then
that was another cool.
And then the Norman infusion was the reason the H and W flipped.
The whom
And what, where, and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. The English Church remained Catholic, but was reorganized under Norman authority. Many Anglo-Saxon bishops were replaced by Normans, and new monasteries were founded in the Norman style. However, veneration of Anglo-Saxon saints like Saint Edmund and Saint Cuthbert continued, and many religious traditions, liturgical customs, and feast days persisted. Law and government. Anglo-Saxon legal traditions, such as the use of shires and hundreds. I wonder if I mistyped that. Administrative divisions persisted under Norman rule. The moot, a local assembly or court, evolved, but remained a part of local governance. The Normans introduced a more centralized feudal hierarchy, but many local Anglo-Saxon customs and legal procedures were retained and adapted into the emerging English legal system. And if you're watching me on camera, the reason I keep looking down is this tablecloth keeps moving because I can't trust people to tell me when I'm in danger.
We're on red.
I'm keeping a lookout. We're watching. Don't get stung.
That microphone's about to be a fucking suppository.
I'm still wondering how the hell I got inside of my house.
I'm wondering why John's inside your house right now.
Would it have been in my table, but we unfolded it right there. We would have
seen it come out.
Like,
I mean, unless he just hung out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Either that or that window over there.
I swear to God, there's a nest under here.
Fair enough.
Was this table outside?
in my garage.
We're gonna die.
Oh God, we're gonna die. After this is over, get your flashlight in there. We're gonna do an inspection.
Me and DJ had it flipped over.
Okay.
When we're taking
I'm curious of that window over there that you guys opened that I've never opened before.
I didn't open that one.
That's what I was thinking.
Because like if there's
Did
a
you
hole
open
in
that
that,
one?
Because if John saw him
You
over there,
fucked me twice. You fucked me twice. You fuck.
because if there's a hole in that screen,
cunt.
yes,
You.
give it a round of
fucked me
applause
twice.
right there. You cunt.
all right. I just wonder if there's a hole in that screen,
Could be.
John.
Very well could be.
Anyways,
Repair your screens.
never use that.
Everything's everybody else's fault.
I just
Yes.
killed the scout one, and there's going to be a whole fucking pack coming.
Yeah, right.
They do
Yeah, I
release
live here.
Pheromones.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, they do.
And I do live here, so carry on. We need to fix this issue before it starts.
Yeah, Ben releases fucking 9mm bullets too.
And I have 2 cans
the
of
fuck up.
wasp killer downstairs, so like, what's happening? Like,
Who's got a lighter?
DJ is wearing two.
so- on language.
yeah.
Old English spoken by the common people gradually absorbed Norman French vocabulary, especially in areas related to law, governance, the military, and aristocratic life. French remained the language of the elite, and Latin remained the language of the church and scholarship. We've seen this play before.
Yep.
With the 3 different languages. Over time, the languages blended into Middle English. This is reflected in literature like the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, where if we were all in high school, we probably all read that.
I'm pretty sure I
that's
own it somewhere.
more or less tied right to this event is the reason we can read that book.
That book's actually really good,
the reason we can read the book the way we do, I guess I should say. But
by the way, I love that book.
no, it was a fantastic read.
Freaking love that book. It's good.
Where Germanic and Latin-based words coexist. Many English words today show this dual origin: kingly, Old English; royal, French; and regal, Latin, all mean the same thing, each from a different root.
What is it, John?
I didn't say anything.
Staring at me, man.
I thought you were going to say something.
I had nothing, man.
Legacy, this centuries-long cultural synthesis produced an English identity that was neither purely Anglo-Saxon nor fully Norman. By the 13th century, the descendants of the Normans considered themselves English. The English language had evolved into a hybrid, and the legal, religious, and social foundations of England bore marks from both traditions. The rich dual heritage continues to shape English culture, language, and institutions to this day.
You did it.
I don't get to see how it ends because I'm going to die.
Unfortunate.
I think it only see what the English language has turned into now.
Jeez.
Fucking, was it, damn it, what's this? Gordon Ramsay. That's all I can think of.
What?
The English language, what it's turned into.
Yeah.
Every other word is cunt.
Indeed. All right. So is that all yet, Ben? Or
That's all I got now. Whatever these guys have, I guess, or to add, or
I
question or
just
discuss,
learned a bunch
or-
of shit during this, following this fucking story.
there's a lot to it,
it's
man.
deep.
Jesus
This is
Christ.
why it's been on my list for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's-
why I wanted to do it so badly, because it is so important. It's literally it's important to us, even though it happened an ocean away and over a millennia ago now.
Yeah.
And because we're the result of it. Yeah, we're absolutely the result of it. And
I mean, it's crazy to think because it's like, it seems like a long time ago, but it's really not that fucking long ago because a generation, average person, 100 years now.
yeah.
But if you splice that down back then, it dwindles down to the average was 60 years, 40 years, whatever. It's really not that many generations ago that it was like that, you know?
I feel it depends what you're talking about.
I guess with everything. you
Well,
know?
and like which century you're talking about and in what context. So, if because we talk about I don't even know. I don't even know a good way to. I'm trying to work like the Wright brothers into this, and I can't quite find the words. Because between the Wright brothers and the Wright brothers and Da Vinci,
yeah,
that's may as well be an eternity.
I guess for my biggest example would be like the language change and how it did change, but not even really that much. Like it kind of remained.
There's actually a real fun video on YouTube. That Simon Whistler guy did it years ago now, and I would suggest checking out. And it's titled something to the effect of how far back could an English speaker go in time?
Yeah.
Like time travel.
Yeah.
And still be able to communicate with the people around him.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It was an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's people today would probably have an issue with just the 1700s, let alone like if you've read up on some of this stuff, I think you'll get a lot further.
I think I remember seeing that video, and it was something like they think on average we can go back to like the year 1200 and still eventually work out a conversation, but you would struggle.
Right. And 1200 is still post-Norman conquest.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, I took a class in college where we studied Old English literature, and fuck, that was brutal, man.
No shit.
Like, once you get to reading it for a while, you're fine. Like, as your brain kind of adjusts to it. But, dude, like, even reading like far back as like if you read the original Moby Dick, like that's
Now I'm curious.
Brutal.
I'm gonna watch some videos on that.
brutal.
English stuff.
yeah. It's interesting stuff. Like I said, that's why this has been on my list for so long. It's important. This is, depending on who you talk to, we're talking about the single most important moment in English history. Depending who you talk to. Because it made England. And then obviously that makes us, that makes, Australia, Canada, everything else, all the other Independence Days that happen around the world.
There are so many.
There's so many, but and all kidding aside, England existing obviously changed the world and made the world the way that we recognize it. So
Just because this guy wouldn't fuck his wife.
literally
not
just
plow his
because this
field.
guy would not boink his fucking wife.
Plow his field is what we've talked about.
Lessons of the podcast.
Oh
Yes.
no,
Plow your wife?
fuck you. There's a very specific lesson that you learn from the podcast.
Situational
Tell your
awareness.
fucking friends when they're under attack And there's a
Be
stowaway.
aware
Motherfucker.
of your surroundings.
Make others aware of their surroundings, especially when others are talking about the English and they get heated. You fuck.
Yeah, that was a big one too, man. That was like a good size.
Yeah, fuck it was. I should have shot him.
That was a big fucker.
I would have loved nothing more than give John a little hearing damage just now. Just a teensy bit of tinnitus.
That would have been better if you didn't say anything. You just shot.
So, like, from a week from now, and you start hearing that again, you go, I deserved it.
That's bold of you to assume I don't have tinnitus.
I want to add to it, fuck.
This is going great. Anyways, we ready to wrap this bad boy up? All right. All right. It's hot. It's like it's 9:40. I want to go lay on my couch.
I've been pierced.
Accurate.
Yes,
Been penetrated.
You have been penetrated by a foreign object. Unlike this dude's wife.
I am welting.
Hey, it'll be fine.
Should be.
Put some ice on it. Anyways, if you made it this far in the podcast, we appreciate you giving us a listen to. Like I said earlier in the episode, we do have social medias. Follow us there. Follow us on your favorite listening service. We do have merch. Check that out too. We actually just had a discussion earlier about some new stuff he wants me to do. So we're going to be doing something new. Again. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. We appreciate you listening to us and hope you all be cool.
Thanks, guys.